Welcome back to Film-Studio-Taku. What you're looking at is the sensor of a Nikon Z6 full frame camera. And you've probably heard it that these sensors, any mirrorless sensor, but particularly the Z mount, is notorious for gathering dust. I actually intentionally got some dust on there because this was pretty clean when I started this video. Anyways, it is true though. I mean, it's a dust magnet. Any dust in the air, it's very easy for it to land on this very large, very exposed due to a short flange distance, and the largest mount for a full frame camera available. But this is both a good thing and a bad thing. I'm going to show you really quickly. This is the, this is the FTZ adapter. Now you'll notice it's deeper. It prevents dust from getting in there better. But what it also does is it makes it very difficult to get in there and clean. Difficult to really see well, and there's a lot of little edges for you to hit. I'm going to show you. So basically I use these specialized swabs. You buy a kit with about 10 of these usually and some cleaning solution. Now to get in there, you can do it, but you know, you're going pretty far back in there. There's really high chance of hitting the edges and even damaging these swabs or getting dust from them. When you take off the FTZ adapter, you know, again, you are just right in there on the sensor. It's very easy to see. It's very easy to get in there. These come with a cleaning solution. I still have some, and you're only supposed to use each one of these one time. However, it's like $25 for the kit, and to buy extra swabs is almost as much. So about a year ago, I just started using isopropyl alcohol. You should ideally use denatured alcohol if you're going to do this, and don't quote me on any of this. If you damage your sensor, it's your own fault. But just know that sensors are covered with a thin layer of glass. They're not as weak as some people make them out to be. You know, I would say don't press hard on them. Just do this if you're comfortable with it. If you're not, don't do it. And please don't blame me for any damage to your sensor. You do this at your own risk. But what I found with the alcohol is that it's better than the solution that this came with at actually getting grease, especially off the sensor, and also dust. It does seem really good at grabbing the dust. And what it allows me to do is, what I do is I put these in a jar with just a little bit of alcohol in the bottom. So when I'm done with them, I put them back in the jar. The alcohol basically dissolves the oil, and any dust tends to fall to the bottom of the jar. So I can have clean swabs anytime and not have to buy new ones, at least not for a while. So what I do, you know, I usually take them out, I shake them off a little bit so they're not super wet, and then I simply go across the sensor. This is how you would normally do it, even as the directions state. You go at about a 45-degree angle across the sensor one time. And then what you do is you flip it over to the clean side, because that side just grabbed all the oil, and you do it again. And generally the directions would tell you then to take a new dry swab. So you use 2 swabs every time. This is why it gets expensive. And do it again to dry it off. But you'll see this sensor is dry except for some beading. Some alcohol beads up in the very side there. But I found that if you just use the very edge of this like a little chisel and just drag it down, it usually absorbs those little beads very, very well. And because the sensor was already clean, this is a little bit easier than usual. And what you can do with any additional beads is you can basically just blow them. That's actually dust right there. Actually, that was a bead. They'll evaporate, and honestly, if they're in the very edge there, who really cares? I mean, it can eventually build up a little bit of residue from the isopropyl. I think denatured alcohol doesn't do that, but anyways. So that's a pretty clean sensor. So again, don't quote me on any of this. This is, again, at your own risk. Please understand, you know, if you're not comfortable cleaning your own sensor, send it in. But the point of this is if you're on a budget and you can't afford to clean your own sensor regularly with a service, it adds up real quick. I mean, honestly, because anytime I take off my lens, I'm cleaning my sensor. It gets dust. It does, simply put. But it's really nice to be able to keep it so clean, so easily. That's why I actually like the Z mount. It took me a while to realize that, but I am OCD, and being able to keep my sensor immaculate like this is really a valuable thing for me. I see a little bit more dust up there. Just, you know, The other thing I'll say though is you want to keep blowing it until you're ready to get the lens on there. You basically want to, the second that you are ready to put the lens on, blow it again, put the lens on, and yeah, maybe even if you can, take a test shot to make sure a piece of dust didn't sneak in there. But just one piece of dust is a lot better than a bunch. And you know, the oil spots, a lot of times you think it's clean, and that's again why I went to the alcohol, because a lot of times I see no dust, but I'd see spots in the image, and it was just little minute oil spots that you cannot see with the naked eye. Usually I do this with glasses. I have decent vision, but not super close up. And like I said, upside down with strong lights so I can see everything clearly. Anyways, that's it. I hope this helps you out. I hope somebody learned from this and can save some money. I know I keep seeing little pieces of dust. That's they accumulate. Anytime you leave it off, they're going to come back. But, you know, pretty clean, right, overall. I'm sure you probably see some dust that I don't see. After I do this, I'm going to do it the right way. So, yeah. Okay. Thank you for watching. If you found this useful, please let me know. Hit the like button, subscribe. Check out my last video. I have made my own website to sell my photos, and I'm aiming to do this now as a full-time job. So any support for me as an artist is very much appreciated. Peace.